Today I'm going to show you how to dehydrate garlic. Dehydrated garlic can last pretty much forever, and you can use it for food and cooking. You can use it for herbal medicine. There's lots of ways to slice and dice it, mince it, and the easiest way, I do grow it. I grow a lot of garlic, but the easiest way for me when I want to do a really big batch and have a lot of extra on hand is I go ahead and buy it at the restaurant supply store. It's 5 pounds, and this one costs $23, and it was already peeled. That's half the battle right there. I can also get Christopher Ranch, which is my favorite, but they were sold out this time, so I got this one instead. So I buy 1 or 2 bags at a time, and then this is what it looks like when you take it out of the bag. It's already peeled. The tops are a little bit brown simply because they're drying out. They're perfectly fine, and when you reconstitute it, they get a lighter color. And it's garlic, so it's not going to hurt you. It just doesn't look pretty. So this I turn into several different things. I can either use this whole. I don't like to dehydrate them whole because it takes a very long time, but I will put this in a jar and pour honey over it, and I'll let it sit for 6 months, a year, 2 years, however long I want. You can use it for ingredients for a marinade. You already have a garlic flavored honey. You can use it for herbal medicine. Again, you have honey, which is an herbal medicine, and you have garlic. So that's one way to use them whole. One of the ways I like to do this is to put this through a food processor. This time, what I did, my hands are going to smell like garlic, is I just sliced them. So I have sliced garlic, and as you can see, it's a little bit sticky. That's the oil coming out, the liquid and the oil coming out. You can also put it through the food processor and turn it into minced garlic. That dehydrates very, very quickly. This will take maybe another 12 hours to fully dehydrate, but then you have this, you can crumble it, you can put it whole, you can put it in soups like this, you can put it in water and then put it in something that you want to fry. Lots of different ways to use this. So I've already done, this is almost the whole bag. This together was 5 pounds, and all I'm going to do is put this straight on my dehydrating sheets. Now my dehydrating sheets, what I have the mesh underneath for extra support, and then I have the silicone tray covers, mats, whatever you want to call it. The nice thing about this is with some foods, especially garlic or fruit, anything that kind of gets sticky before it gets completely and thoroughly crispy dry, is it sticks to whatever surface it's on. That's one problem. The other problem is for small things, like if I were going to mince the garlic, it would go right through here. If these are about $50 for a set of 9 for the Excalibur. I have used plastic wrap before, and I've just wrapped this in plastic wrap, and it worked just as well too, so no problem there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take these, and again, it is just, dehydrating is so simple, I don't know why more people don't do it. And like I've said in the past, I'm not one to put one tiny little piece, aside and dehydrate it like that. I do it in mounds because as it dehydrates, it pulls apart, it shrinks, it pulls apart from each other, it pulls apart from the big mound that you've put out there, and you can get so much more dehydrated than you could if you were just putting like one little piece in at a time. So let's get a little bit more on here. Now, one of the problems with dehydrating garlic is obviously the smell inside. It is going to be so intensive. I love it, and I feel like it almost helps clean out my sinuses and kind of washes them almost. I love it, but dogs and cats can get very, very sick from having the garlic inside the house in such an intense level. So what I do is I'll show you in a minute, but I put the whole dehydrator in front of an open window so it blows out. So let me finish my trays and I'll be right back. Alright, so I have my garlic inside all ready for the dehydrator to turn on. I do turn this up a little bit higher. I like it between like 145 to even 160. The higher it is, it gets more golden, I guess. The lower it is, the more white it remains. So I'll go ahead and get all this processed. There's 4 trays of it. I also have this. My son's going to make some really good garlic bread. He cooks this down into a paste and he makes garlic bread with it. And then I also have half a jar of the sliced that I'm going to pour honey over, and I'll do this in a separate video. But I wanted to point out, and I'll do it in the next video as well, this was a spaghetti sauce jar. It is a mason jar. And I reuse them all the time. They're great. You can pressure can with them. I've done that fairly frequently, actually. They're a little bit smaller than a quart and quite a bit bigger than a pint. The nice thing about these is their lid, the classical brand, their lid has a really nice rubber ring in there, and I've actually used these with canning and been able to get seals just on these lids. So you can reuse this 2 or 3 times, especially for something like fruit or tomatoes. And then when I go to use this for herbal medicine, it makes a really nice seal as well, and that's what I'm going to do here. So I'll do that in the next video, but for right now I'm going to get my garlic going, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's all done. So one of the problems in the Pacific Northwest during the rainy season is trying to dehydrate garlic and onions inside, because like I said, it can make your animals really, really sick. And it can be overwhelming for people too, and it lingers in your house for weeks afterwards, which, you know, personally I love the smell of garlic, but that's okay, other people don't. So what we've found is that if we have the front of the dehydrator facing out towards the window and have the window open, it just pushes the smell, the odor completely outside. You might get just a little bit inside, but it's not bad at all. The problem that I have is that my windowsills are up kind of high from my counter, so I end up having to put it on top of something. And today I have it up on top of a Japanese washing tub. We use this for a bread dough pan to mix up the bread dough and let it rise. I did put it on a towel so that it doesn't slide, because the dehydrator does vibrate and I don't want it to vibrate right off the counter. So I'll go ahead and get this going. Oh, and I also, for the first 2 or 3 hours, I keep the door off, because the first 2 or 3 hours of dehydrating is when most of the moisture is forced out and the heat starts to get it hot and the odor is stronger. So I want all of that going outside, and then after about 3 hours I'll come back and I'll put the door on, and that helps maintain the internal heat inside and helps it dry faster and more thoroughly. Alright, so the dehydrator is finished with the garlic, the sliced garlic, so I'll go ahead and take out trays. You can see it's shrunk down a little bit, but it still kind of maintains its size. And you just loosen it up. It sticks a little bit, and then I just kind of go like this to get it all loose. And then I just take it and put it in a jar. It's that simple. You do want to have a lid that has a rubber ring on it so it's airtight. This will last basically forever. You do want to make sure that it's crispy, crunchy, dry. You don't want any moisture in there at all, or you will get mold. And then to rehydrate it, well, you can actually use it like this in any kind of soup or stew or anything that has liquid in it, or you can put some in a little bowl and cover it. You don't have to have a lot of water, just, you know, 1/4 cup for a couple spoonfuls of the garlic. You just want to let it soften with warm water, and in 15-20 minutes it should be soft enough, and you can stir fry with it. You can do whatever you'd like with it. So that's how you make dehydrated garlic. And again, I buy it in 5-pound bags from the restaurant supply store, because it's already peeled, it's ready to go, and I can make a lot all at once, enough for an entire year. And then we live off of the fresh garlic that I grow. So I have both available. So anytime you have extra garlic or it goes on sale, you can dehydrate it. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you'd like more videos like this. And I'll see you on the next round.